My name is Jake, and I've been working as a delivery driver for a small local company for the past 5 years. Most nights it's a pretty straightforward gig, just me, my trusty van, and a stack of packages to drop off at various addresses around town. But there's one night I'll never forget. It was a cold, rainy evening in late October. I was on the late shift, tasked with delivering a last-minute rush of packages to customers who just couldn't wait until morning. My next delivery was to a house on the outskirts of town. As I pulled up to the address, the house was old and decrepit, its paint peeling and its windows boarded up as if to ward off prying eyes. I hesitated for a moment, debating whether to leave the package on the doorstep and make a run for it, but something compelled me to approach the house, to confront whatever lay beyond its weather-beaten facade. With a deep breath, I grabbed the package and stepped out into the rain, the sound of my footsteps echoing in the empty silence. As I reached the front door, I noticed a faint flicker of light shining through the cracks in the boards. My curiosity piqued. I pressed my ear against the wood, straining to hear any sign of movement from within, but all I could hear was the steady drip, drip, drip of rain falling from the eaves. With a shrug, I knocked on the door, the sound echoing eerily through the night. To my surprise, the door swung open with a creak, revealing a dimly lit interior that seemed to beckon me inside. I hesitated for a moment, my hand hovering over the threshold, before steeling myself and stepping over the threshold into the unknown. The air inside was thick with dust and decay. The furniture was old and worn, covered in sheets that hung like shrouds over forgotten relics of a bygone era. Suddenly, a noise broke the stillness, a soft, plaintive moan. I froze in place, my heart pounding in my chest as I strained to listen for any sign of movement. But the house was silent once more, save for the sound of my own ragged breath echoing in the darkness. I shook my head, chiding myself for letting my imagination run wild. There was nothing here but shadows and dust, I told myself, nothing to be afraid of. But as I turned to leave, something caught my eye, a glint of metal shining in the dim light. Curiosity getting the better of me, I followed the gleam to the far corner of the room, where a staircase descended into the darkness below. With a mixture of trepidation and excitement, I descended into the abyss, my footsteps echoing on the wooden stairs. At the bottom, I found myself in a cold, damp basement, the air heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. I shivered, wrapping my arms around myself as I scanned the room for any sign of life. And then in the far corner, I saw a figure huddled in the shadows, its eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. My heart pounded in my chest as I stumbled backwards, my mind reeling with fear and disbelief. I wanted to run, to flee from this nightmare and never look back. But something compelled me to stay, to confront the terror that lurked within the darkness. And then, with a suddenness that took my breath away, the figure lunged forward, its movements swift and predatory. I barely had time to react before darkness consumed me, swallowing me whole and dragging me down into the depths of the unknown. When I woke up, I was lying on the cold, damp floor of the basement, my head pounding and my body racked with pain. For a moment I lay there in a daze, trying to make sense of what had just happened. But as the memories came flooding back, I realized that I had stumbled upon something far more sinister than I could have ever imagined. The house, it seemed, was not as abandoned as it first appeared, and whatever dwelled within its walls was hungry for more than just packages, it was hungry for souls. And now, as I lay there in the darkness, I knew that I would never be the same again, for I had seen the true face of evil, and it was something that no delivery driver should ever have to encounter.